This World Cup has been about the biggest names: Messi, Mbappé, Haaland, Kane, Bellingham, Dembélé. All the big boys have really come out to shine this time around. But it seems like there has been so much focus on the superstars that some less known names are going under the radar and getting unfairly treated by their managers. We want to shed some light on some of such situations in this video today. These are 7 players who deserve more than they've got at this World Cup. We'll start with Gonzalo Ramos. He played a total of 34 minutes across 5 World Cup matches for Portugal this year, and we think he absolutely deserved more than that. He is a player who has always turned up for his national team whenever he has been called upon, but he was not rewarded with minutes at this tournament. In the entire history of the World Cup, Gonzalo Ramos ranks number 6 for minutes per goal ratio among players who have played at least 150 minutes. He averages 1 goal every 47 minutes, is the last Portuguese player to score a hat-trick at the World Cup, and has scored more World Cup knockout goals than Cristiano Ronaldo himself. He even showed his importance this year when he came off the bench and scored the winner in the round of 32 game against Croatia in just 27 minutes played. What was his reward for that? 0 minutes in the round of 16 against Spain. Now, we're not saying that he's as good as Cristiano Ronaldo, but the numbers clearly say that Ramos brings a lot of value to that Portugal side. So at the very least, he should have been given more minutes and should particularly have come off the bench in that game against Spain. He deserved that much. Another attacker who has certainly deserved more than he has got is Gileiano Simeone. We have all watched him at Atletico Madrid, so we honestly don't get why Lionel Scaloni has not played him more often at this World Cup, especially because that left side of attack has been up for grabs all tournament. He is one of the hardest workers in that squad, and he has shown that he is always ready to leave it all on the pitch for his team. He is also very versatile. We have seen him play on the right wing, left wing, centre forward, and even in defence. The left winger in Scaloni's setup is required to run the entire flank, press hard, and generally be very involved defensively, and these are duties Simeone excels at, but he hasn't got a real opportunity. Thiago Almada and Nicolas Gonzalez have both gotten real opportunities on that flank, which makes it a little crazier that Gileiano Simeone has been consistently overlooked. And it's sort of a similar case with Victor Munoz in Spain. Obviously, he was never going to start at this World Cup considering his level of experience at club level and with the national team, but looking at everything that has happened on Spain's left wing, it's pretty nuts that Munoz has not got a single minute yet. Nico Williams would have been the nation's nailed-on left winger if not for his injury, but in his absence, De La Fuente has played Gavi, Baena and Pino on the left wing, but he has not tried the only other left winger he brought to the World Cup. It just seems odd. I mean, why then did you name him in the squad if you had no plans to play him at all? The kid is super fast, has a high work rate, is versatile, and can cause a lot of havoc going forward. At the very least, he deserves some minutes from off the bench, but he has not got any at all, which we think is a little unfair. It's also quite unfair that Ivan Toney has not been given a single minute on the pitch after 5 games. Obviously, Harry Kane was always going to start and play most of the minutes, but Toney is a guy who gives you something different, and as such should have got some playing time by now. At the last Euros, he came off the bench in the game against Slovakia and assisted the winner. In the next game against Switzerland, he came off the bench again and netted his penalty during the shootout. He's a striker who brings a lot of value to his team, and mind you, he's coming off a season where he was directly involved in 53 goals in 49 appearances. Surely he deserves some minutes on the pitch. I mean, every other English attacker has had minutes at this World Cup. Saka, Kane, Eze, Rashford, Watkins, Gordon, Noni, Rodgers have all touched the pitch at one point or the other. But Toney still waits for his first World Cup minutes. Seems a bit unfair if you ask us. Another player who deserves more than he has gotten so far is Oscar Bob. Yes, he has featured in all of Norway's 5 games so far, but he has had to come off the bench in 4 of those games, which we think is less than what he deserves. He certainly deserves to be starting every game. Sørloth is simply not a right winger, and the coach trying to force him into the lineup by playing him on the wing has hurt them more than it has helped them. Bob, on the other hand, is a natural winger who has already even had a massive effect on Norway's current campaign. He won a penalty against Iraq and came off the bench to create the winner against Côte d'Ivoire. With these performances, he surely deserves to be starting over Sørloth on the right wing. Now, they might be out, but Brazil should definitely have featured Endrick more than they did. This is a kid with a very impressive skill set and an insatiable hunger for goal. He left Real Madrid halfway into the season in order to fight for a place at the World Cup, and he did exactly that with 16 goal involvements in half a season. Even in the World Cup warm-up games, he was special, scoring against Egypt and coming off the bench to create 2 goals and inspire a turnaround against Croatia. But at the World Cup, he was barely given an opportunity that Ancelotti's non-preference for him became a big recurring online joke. Endrick played a total of 111 minutes at the World Cup, an equivalent of less than a game and a half. He certainly deserved more. And mind you, Ancelotti had several opportunities to play him. When Rafinha picked up an injury, he could have played Endrick on the right wing, but he went with Ryan instead. When Paquetá picked up an injury, he could have played Cunha at 10 and Endrick at 9, but he chose to play Martinelli instead. It felt like the coach was just not interested in playing him at all, and some people might argue that the chance that Endrick missed when he came on against Norway was the reason he didn't play enough, but for us, that was a reason why he deserved more minutes. He's a player who creates his own chances through his runs and movements. If he had played more, he would almost certainly have scored a goal or two and really helped Brazil. And it's not just us saying this. The nation's legends support this notion. R9 criticised Ancelotti for not giving Endrick enough minutes at the World Cup, and of course, one person whose opinions on strikers you cannot but respect is Ronaldo, especially when it comes to the World Cup. Speaking of what legends are saying reminds us of Kobbie Mainoo. Wayne Rooney has come out to criticise Tuchel for not giving the young midfielder enough minutes at this World Cup, and it's something worthy of taking into account. Mainoo, Chalobah and Toney are the only outfield players yet to step on the pitch for England at this World Cup, and you just have to say that Mainoo is the least deserving of such treatment. The kid is class, he works very hard and brings control to any midfield, and sometimes England have lacked that. Obviously Rice and Bellingham will always start, but we don't see why Mainoo cannot get in ahead of Elliot Anderson in some games. I mean, when Tuchel rested Rice in the game against Panama, that was a golden opportunity to play Mainoo, but he still didn't. More so, if Jordan Henderson can get minutes at the World Cup in 2026, then there's simply no explanation for Mainoo being left out consistently. Anyway, it is now time to hear from you guys. Do you agree that these players deserve more than they have gotten at this World Cup? Are there more players you would say have been treated quite unfairly? Get in the comments and talk to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Goal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. Goal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Goal 90 Shop.